Good Health by Claudia podcast with me, Denny Schaefer, a production of Denny Radio. It's episode 28. Yay!
Yay!
All right, today it's natural factors, what to look for in a quality supplements from a family-owned company. Carrie Pattison is our guest from Natural Factors, and she is the national educator for natural factors. There's a lot of natural factors in there. Carrie, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm absolutely thrilled to be here.
First
episode of many, hopefully. I mean, let's have some fun.
Terrific. Thank you.
And I just want to remind any of our viewers, put your comments down and we'll see them and we can ask questions for you. And Claudia, where would you like to start?
Well, first you got to do the disclaimer.
Oh, I was off for a week. Actually, I just got back from vacation, so I'm still on vacation mode. All right. The information contained in these podcasts is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or health condition. Please consult a qualified healthcare professional if you do have a medical condition. The FDA has not evaluated the information on this podcast, which represents the opinions of the hosts and our guests. Now, Claudia, where would you like to start?
All right.
Opinions. Let's start with opinions.
That's always good.
So, Carrie, we're here to highlight the family-owned companies that have been critically important in our industry for many years. They have helped fight the fight to keep products on the shelf. This is something that's very important to me to remind everybody, and I always do. Without the independent supplement companies and the independent mom and pop health food stores, these products would not be on the market to this day. So it's been a big battle, but we fought it and we continue to, and we encourage more people to join in and protect their health freedom rights. So Natural Factors, great family-owned company. We're very grateful you're here. So tell us about the farm. Tell us what, we're going to talk about. How do you know where to put your money into a good quality product? So
and I think that's exactly the kind of the theme for today, right? Is like, should you spend your money on that supplement, and where should you spend your money, right?
Yes.
And we feel at Natural Factors very, very strongly that you should be spending your money in an independent health food retailer because A, they have the knowledge, B, they care.
Exactly.
C, the money's staying in your community.
Yes.
Right. So there's way too many benefits. And also, you're going to actually be getting a quality vetted supplement. And that's really the biggest thing. There's all of these discussions and misnomers out there about, are supplements regulated by the FDA? What's the quality? And all of this stuff is actually, there's a lot of misinformation out there. We are extremely regulated. However, just like in all industries, there's good players and bad players.
Right.
You're going to walk into an independent retailer, one of these mom and pop stores, you're not going to find the bad players on the shelf.
Exactly.
They've been vetted for you. So this is immediately just a way to de-stress yourself when you're shopping for a supplement.
Yes.
Natural Factors, one of the reasons that we have this dedication to the independent health food retailer is that we are family owned. So we've been around for over 60 years. We are the largest supplement company in Canada by far. And that's where we started. And Roland Gaylor, our owner, he realizes that these independent health food stores are the reason we are the size we are. I mean, we're a global organization. We're kind of a big deal.
Yes, you are.
And he's not going to turn his back on the people who actually made us the way that we can be. So I just was with him a month ago, and it was really fascinating because he decided to spend time talking about making money and the importance of actually being successful as a business.
Yes.
But having heart and integrity and the good things that you can do. So, it's this idea of still going with family owned, independent. I always tell people one of the funnest things, or maybe not fun, it can be kind of shocking and overwhelming, is to just Google who owns what supplement company.
Right.
Right. There's all these charts and you're like, whoa, I had no idea that wow. It's just interesting to see. And, having a family-owned company means that the levels of integrity are still there.
Yes.
The maturity is still there, the longevity. Roland has stipulations in place for when he's gone. that we will remain private family owned. Like, it's that much of a dedication and a partnership.
And we honor that. I mean, this is a big deal because we see so many of our companies, the small mom and pops worked very hard
Work their
to
tushies
educate
off.
the public on these companies. They grow to be worth millions. They sell out and they ditch the independents that created them to be worth millions. So it's, we don't like those companies on our shelf. We get rid of them. So we're grateful for a company like Natural Factors and the other family-owned supplement companies that still exist. And, it's a very nice symbiotic relationship. So
it is.
So tell us what you guys are doing, I know that there's a lot of care in how you are producing these products.
Yeah. So there's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes that we don't necessarily talk about. I have a running joke for us that we have over 2,000 acres of organic regenerative farmland. We don't have 2,000 people in our marketing department. So a lot of these big, corporation companies now, they're just marketing machines, right?
Right.
They're just spitting out language, and really our focus is what goes on inside the bottle.
Yes.
So like I said, we do have our farmland. We also manufacture everything ourselves. And I think this is another big benefit. Customers might be listening to what we're saying right now and go, oh my gosh, that sounds like something I'm not going to be able to afford. Right. But at the end of the day, you're actually going to find better price points because we manufacture everything ourselves.
Yes.
So this is one of the things I love to point out to people. Is, pick up bottles and look on them. Look at labels when you're in a store somewhere, see what it says. I'm always telling people you want to look for something that says manufactured by. That means they have their hands in the quality all along. They are passing on all of those savings. If you see something that says distributed by or manufactured for, that means somebody else is doing it for them.
Yes.
And they might not ever actually touch that product, right? They just ship a label off. It gets put on a bottle. It gets shipped out to some mass market store, and they haven't actually touched it. And they have to pass on all those costs to the consumer. Whereas doing it yourself means being able to have those safety mechanisms of quality measures, and then also, of just basic cost savings.
Right.
So I'm looking at one of your products right here, Men's 50 Plus Multivitamin.
Yeah, I got the women's right here.
Oh, there you go. So inside this box, is there a magnifying glass? Because this font is so small, I can't even read it. Can you read this?
Right.
I have no idea.
That's actually one of the things that I do point out to customers too, is transparency. I pick up supplements and I'm like, great, I can read this, but it just says proprietary blend and it doesn't give me any information at all. So, I mean, pluses and minuses of this. Yes. Maybe we should get Denny some lutein.
All of the
I got strong glasses, but I still can't see.
All of the labels, the print has gotten so small. I'm always showing customers, and we have a magnifying glass at the supplement counter. We're all grabbing it to see.
Yep, I know. It's all of it is small, but it's part of our way that we were like, we want to get you that information.
And you guys are part of good manufacturing practices and all. So why don't you talk for a moment what that means?
Yeah. So here in the United States, the way that supplement companies are regulated is through two things. DSHEA, which we kind of made that disclaimer at the beginning. This is what we can and cannot say.
Yes.
And also through current good manufacturing processes, or CGMPs. And there's a lot of levels to this, and they're changing all the time. The FDA does show up and audit companies. So we were just talking about, this idea of a third-party manufacturer. Well, I saw not so long ago a warning letter from the FDA, because they send warning letters all the time. And this was a warning letter that had multiple pages of GMP violations on it. And the irony of it being that it was a third-party manufacturer, and I think their name was like Quality Manufacturing Company or something.
You're not speaking about Natural Factors. You mean
no. This is some other company that I was like,
correct.
I just thought it was ironic that their name was Quality Manufacturing Company, right?
Yeah.
So we actually at Natural Factors, we have a saying for us: we're determined to do all we can do, not just what we have to do. We adhere to all GMPs. We've never had a problem with this at all, because another thing I like to point out to customers in very tiny writing on the bottles is product of Canada. We manufacture here in the United States. We manufacture in Australia, we have facilities in Australia. We do a lot of manufacturing up in Canada. So we are a global company, but we adhere to the same standards because we're sharing products across border.
Yes.
And Health Canada, their version of the FDA, actually regulates supplement companies the same that they regulate pharmaceuticals.
Mm-hmm.
So immediately
the
right
same
there.
that they regulate pharmaceuticals. Is that what you
The
just said?
same, yeah.
The
So
same. I didn't realize that.
So they're immediately right there. GMPs are like bottom of the barrel for what we have to do for quality standards with Health Canada. An example I use of that is here in the United States, we're actually legally allowed to have certain levels of E. coli and salmonella in our supplements. You know, good companies are focused on not making sure this happens, right? But at the end of the day, Health Canada, zero, none. We are not allowed to have that. So we have to take every finished batch, feed it E. coli loving foods, let it sit around for a couple of weeks to guarantee there's nothing going on. So that is a big distinguisher of natural factors within our quality measures, is we test every finished batch for quality. And, you know, people who are listening today, they're probably, you know, if they're with us right in the moment, right, they're probably remembering this last week. There was that JAMA study that was published, came out in the New York Times, talking about potency levels in melatonin gummies and the concerns around that, how nothing, you know, I think it was like 85% of that, the ones that they studied didn't meet potency levels. And some of them had, you know, some of them had like 378% more melatonin than what it said. Right. And this is concerning. This is why we want to have these conversations about GMPs and good companies, right? You know, partnering with good companies, because we are the ones that are doing the testing and we are the ones that are guaranteeing that you have the purity and the potency. And this is something where with Health Canada, they will shut us down if they test something and we haven't met the potency levels. Like, it's that aggressive up there as far as the standards and restrictions are concerned. But we do take it even a next step further, where we are certified TGA. So this stands for the Therapeutic Goods Administration. This is Australia's FDA.
Oh, wow.
And that's actually the most stringent requirement in the world. So if you have TGA certification, you're essentially the top of the cream of the crop, right? You can't get any higher than that. So there's a couple of other North American companies that have been certified by TGA, but they're practitioner only brands. So, you know, that just speaks to what is happening behind the scenes with natural factors, is everything is going into what's going on inside the bottle.
So it's manufactured in the US, but it has to pass the standards of Australia.
And Canada. Yes.
And Canada.
Wow.
Yep. And so we do manufacture some things in Canada as well. We have different facilities that kind of specialize in something. So like all of our fish oils are currently manufactured up in Kelowna, which is an area in British Columbia. Gorgeous area. Like, I want a vacation there. It's like Tahoe and Napa had a baby.
Oh,
it's that stunning. This is where, like I said, we are manufacturing a lot of our fish oils. It's also where our farms are. So all of our fresh product from the farms is manufactured there. Well, NSF is a global certification organization. This is something that I tell people to look for. This is a third-party organization that is doing amazing things regarding quality standards, checking companies. I trust them, right? This isn't just some, like, I paid for a label to be put on my bottle. NSF is great. So ask for that sort of certification. But they passed our Kelowna facility at 100%.
Wow.
And my understanding is that they were like, we made it so that nobody could pass that 100%.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, no, it is something for us that, you know, we work really, really hard.
Customers love this line. And that's why I'm glad you want to come on again, because as I said, there's so many cool products.
Yeah, we need to talk about products, right? Like, that's the point.
Let's talk about I just brought the men's 50 plus, the women's 50 plus. The women's plus multi-start is also very popular. I don't know if you can see that.
Great one.
But So wherever you want to start. So let's talk about the raw ingredients, and they're coming from the farm. So when you say that, you're talking tell us about the product. Is it food based? Yeah. So why don't we talk
We
about
start with
that?
this one, the men's 50 plus.
Start with the men's
there.
50
So they
plus.
all have
Well, she's got
all of the
woman's
whole earth
50.
and sea multivitamin and mineral supplements have the same base of food ingredients.
Yes.
And then they're going to be a little bit specialized depending upon gender, age, what it is that you are looking for. So obviously, like the men's 50 plus, I think there's some lycopene in there, some some prostate support. There's a little bit more minerals because
Denny's putting that supplement.
Yeah.
Higher minerals.
Went from here, now it's over there.
You're also not going to find the iron that's going to be, like the women's is going to have iron in it, that sort of a thing. So
yes.
What I love about this is my first thing is, like, I always tell people, like, just crack the bottle and smell it. Like, it smells like plants. And, for those of us who have been taking multivitamins for a long time, sometimes we crack it and we're like, oh, that smells like something that was made in a lab. And we really we go back to the basics, right? This is what you and Denny are doing, is going back to the basics.
Exactly.
And food as medicine has been since day one.
Right.
Since day one, right?
Always.
And you go back and you look at all of these really famous historical figures in the world of medicine, and they all have some sort of phrase around food first.
Yes.
Food first.
Food
so
first.
That's where this tablet is really focused on food first. There's actually up to a 1/4 pound of plant material in here. You can break them in half and see that they are the same throughout. I usually tell people dump it in a glass of water and watch, because the idea is that it's just compressed food it will just come back to life in there, and you'll see that it really is food. So not everything in here comes from our farms. Obviously, we can't grow ginger and turmeric on our farms in Canada, but we partner with other farms around the world that we really, really trust. And so you're going to see our nutrients, that transparency where you have to get a magnifying glass to see, our vitamin D is coming from lichen, our K2 is coming from natto, our selenium's coming from sprouted garlic. People know a lot of these food sources. And then we have this whole farm fresh factors, which is a 200,000 milligrams of plant material that's coming, so many of it's coming from our own farm. So that's actually what you're getting in a serving is 22 vegetables, 11 fruits, 10 herbs, and 6 sea vegetables.
Wow,
that's impressive.
I'm not going to get that much in my body during the day,
right?
No matter what, right?
Right.
And none of us have time anymore, really. I mean, that's really a big part of it. So, it's interesting to think about why we would need to take a multivitamin.
So wait a minute, Carrie, repeat that again. Each tablet, say that again. Each product.
Each tablet has 22 vegetables, 11 fruits, 10 herbs, and 6 sea vegetables in it.
Beautiful.
Plus, we're seeing the nutrients, right? So it's just highly concentrated food. Our farms are absolutely stunning. Like I said, they are focused on regenerative agriculture. One of my favorite tenets of regenerative agriculture is no fences, because nature is supposed to be interacting with the farm. And so I love knowing we have a natural wildlife corridor that runs through the farm. So nature just gets to show up. So much so that we actually do have one place that we have to have fences, and that's our apiary, because we have 2 family of bear that live on the farm that are constantly trying to break into the beehives to get to the honey. So we obviously want to protect our bees. But other than that, everybody's always like, what about the deer eating the plants? And I'm like, well, the bear probably chased the deer away.
Right.
It's this lovely sort of microcosm there where we are hand weeding, we're hand harvesting. We have an artesian spring that is our water source. We're not even utilizing organically approved pesticides. We are a pesticide-free farm. We just don't know some long-term ramifications of even things that are so-and-so approved organically. So it's all these wonderful things that go into this beautiful soil that we grow all of these plants in. And so much of what's in Whole Earth and Sea is coming from the farm. And there's all of these things behind the scenes that customers don't even know they're contributing to when they purchase a Natural Factors product. We have a seed bank. and we work with other seed banks around. This is probably something you didn't even know, Claudia.
I
Like
didn't realize that. That's
we
very
don't,
cool.
yeah, we're not out here talking about these things because we're so focused on what's going on inside the bottle.
Right.
But in our seed bank, and we have parts of the farm that are dedicated to growing seeds for preservation, we currently have 183 species of plants that are extinct. No, these are extinct in nature plants.
Oh my goodness.
They're not medicinals. They're not going into our products. We just are seeking out these plants and we're growing the seeds to save them for future generations. So yeah. And it's something that, every time somebody they buy the Active Bee, they buy RXOMA, no matter what product they buy from Natural Factors, they're contributing to some of these projects. And I love it. So I wanted to get back to your question though, on what's up with the multivitamin, right? I think
before you do that, I'm just going to interrupt for a moment because, this issue of saving seeds, this is extremely important. And, I don't know about Canada, but I know in the United States, we have, somebody buying up all of our farmland and we have big corporate interests buying up our farmland. And this is a very serious problem. So right on your label, I don't know why you're better at doing that, Denny, than I am. It says
I have longer arms.
Non-GMO.
Yep.
This is extremely important. And even though that can be a conversation, that
could be an entire conversation in and of itself. Yes.
I think it's important to just say a moment. Why is it important to have non-GMO?
So we don't know what we don't know, right? There's these genetically modified organisms are not that old, haven't been around that long.
Right.
We do not have the longevity of research to show us that our bodies are okay with them or that they are that they're not preventing some sort of negative health situation.
Right.
That being said, I firmly believe that the body knows when something is not real. And yes, so I go back to also synthetic nutrients, right? The body's going to go vitamin A from beta carotene made in a lab versus vitamin A from, a food source.
Right.
It knows the difference.
It does know the difference.
Yeah. And I think that what happens with GMOs in the body is it kind of becomes like a white noise. It's just this buzzy thing that specifically the digestive system is like, what's going on here? And it just kind of prevents the body from actually hearing what's happening and what's going on. So I think a lot of these autoimmune situations that are starting to appear may be linked back. It's fascinating, that kind of adage that people who are like, oh, I can't have gluten, and then they go to Italy, and the entire time they're there, all they're doing is eating the pasta and the bread, and they don't have any issues at all, right?
It doesn't bother them. It's
not
incredible.
At all. And then they get on the airplane and come back and they eat a cracker and they're in the bathroom on the airplane for the rest of the trip, And what is that about?
But, even though we're making light of it, this is a very serious problem.
It is.
Especially for our children, because our children are being exposed to experimental things in the food that we were not exposed to. And we're seeing the impact. We have a lot of young children that are being brought to us, gut distress and all these other things. And, for me
mental
personally,
health issues.
You what?
Mental health issues.
Oh,
in children.
Terrible. Yes.
I mean, the anxiety, the panic attacks that are happening in kids nowadays, and then going to things like ADD, ADHD, so much of this can be traced back to food.
So many things wrong with our food supply. But, for me, when I first learned many years ago that in a very simplistic way, a researcher said to me, think of it this way. We're experimenting with genetic material in foods that in millions of years, nature has never crossed species with those foods.
Yeah.
But that's what they're doing. And for me, if something doesn't belong in something, I don't want to eat it. So
they've also, it gets even more terrifying when they're splicing in animal genetics.
That's what I'm saying.
Right?
If it doesn't belong in there, it's like,
Yeah, I'm concerned that it's becoming more and more mainstream, right? I was talking to Yolanda Fenton, our director of product innovation, and at Natural Factors, like GMOs are, and this is one of the things I absolutely love is that we've partnered with Ishura. This is a third-party not-for-profit, and they're like, we know we have no GMOs in our supply chain. We're very aware of this. We are non-GMO from start to finish, but you just don't know anymore, right?
Right.
So Ishura is actually doing DNA testing for us to look for genetic material from GMOs.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking to her, and she's telling me that companies are sending her products. Hey, try our new, supplement of this or that or whatever it is. First thing we do is send it to Ishura, and they're like, "Oh no, there's no GMOs in there." Come to find out, there are GMOs. So it's becoming more. Well, a lot of I don't think people are talking enough about some of the new world around the fake meats. And the reality of it is that these are created via genetic modification.
Yes,
And and it's like there's this whole it's sustainable, it's good, and it's like all of this marketing.
It's all
the marketing white
it's all
noise.
marketing, people.
Yeah. So, we have to ask the question, like, what is really going on? Where did it come from? How is it being created?
Right.
When you see something that says meat and it has 35 ingredients, I'm not feeling strong that that's actually like
we don't carry any of that stuff at the store. And I'm not a fan of it. I think if somebody doesn't want to eat meat, God bless them, don't. But the sci-fi
there's other alternatives.
Yeah,
There's
but we
other
have people already
alternatives.
coming in. They're buying it from other stores around us, and they have gut distress, and they recognize it right off the bat. Anyway, so anyway, thank you for being non-GMO. It's a big deal. That's why one of the reasons we
have to fight it too. Company. One of the projects we also do behind the scenes up in Canada, hopefully we'll have it here in the US soon, is we take school children to farms. And then we give them a seed and we have them plant it and watch it grow, right?
Yes.
So teach the littles like what is happening with our plants now. And hopefully we can start, but I was in a grocery store not long ago and I saw, in the frozen section, it was like the natural section. And I was like, oh, I'd never seen this. Pull it out. And it's like in the natural section on the front, it says like, la, 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 all of these things. I turn it on the back and it's like, made with bioengineered ingredients.
Right on the label, they're starting to put it.
Get out!
Which is
Get
nice.
Out of here.
Actually, I'm grateful they're doing that, but it's amazing that we're even dealing with this now. So, at any rate, let's see how we doing on time.
We are about our last 5 minutes.
All right, we've got a couple more minutes. So I just want to say about the Maltese, because so many people have gut distress. People have breaking down these tablets is very easy for people.
So easy because it's just
great. They're very easy to digest. We encourage, whole food approach is wonderful. And again, we're not just all whole food, because we have other companies that are not, and they've been around for years and they do a good job and they've helped a lot of people. So we're proud to offer both.
That's right. And that's the point, is come in and know and trust what's happening in your independent health food retailer, that they are going to support you in your journey. I did want to call out, actually, because I know you love the Active Bee complex.
I'm so happy.
That's the one she had in her hand.
That's the one.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So
I did want to call out, I had mentioned that Farm Fresh Factors with the 22 vegetables, 11 fruits, 10 herbs, 6 sea vegetables.
Yes.
That is also in the Active Bee.
Beautiful.
We've concentrated it down. There's just a little bit in here, but it's really lovely because having food helps unlock some of those B vitamins and make them more bioavailable in the body, So like being that partnership. So, and that's something that's so unique, is that we can really pull things from our farm and put it into other products that you wouldn't necessarily see it in.
Well, I'll tell you, we have a lot of B complexes. People love this formula.
Yeah.
They'll come back and say, wow, it was, easy to break, easy to digest. They experience a little energy from it. And you don't hear that about every B complex on the market. So you
Yep,
guys have
and
done a great job.
you want to look for those ones that are coenzymated, right? Because there's so many
Yes.
people now that, because of probably a lot of these GMOs and things, where we're changing our genetic makeup in our body.
Yes.
And so, a lot of people aren't able to convert B vitamins anymore. So if we can get them in that active form that's already like metabolically active,
Yes.
it means the body doesn't have to stress to try and
Work
make it
so
happen.
hard to
And there are some people that
Right.
actually are missing the genes in order to do that in general.
To break
So
it down.
they could be taking, this is, talk about saving money for your supplements, right? They could be
Yes.
taking a B vitamin all day long. And, the reality of it is that we have the most expensive sewer and septic systems in the world here in the United States because there's so many people that are not gut. It goes back to the gut. If you're not breaking down your supplements, you're wasting that money.
Yes. All right. Well, that's where we're going to start. And I hope you enjoyed that. And Carrie, thank you so much. Next time you're on, I want to talk about the DGL,
yes,
the GABA. A lot of people, they need GABA to help them, chill out a little bit.
And
so you guys are making some wonderful products. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, I look forward to talking about those.
So, great job, Carrie. Thank you.
Many blessings to you.
All right.
We'll talk soon.
See you again next time. Bye.
Thank you.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
That was pretty amazing.
Natural Factors. Great company.
So which one of these should I be trying? The men's 50 plus probably?
Yeah, try that one.
What about the B? Active B.
Yeah, people love this one. So take it and try it.
All right. Good. So, as always, great job. And just to remind everybody, if you want to hear this in podcast form, I cut it up and I post it on Mondays. So you can have that. Sometimes that's easier for people because you want to kind of watch. Yes. Well, it's just the audio. So you can just put it on in the car or wherever you're at, right. Download it through your phone, listen that way, however you want to do it. We try to make it convenient for you. And always remember, if you're watching or listening, please share it so we can, continue to grow. We're doing great.
There.
We're up we're doing well on Instagram, I see. And I got to figure out how to do this live on Instagram. I got to ask our tech guy but great information as always. And Claudia, like we do every week, I give you the last word.
Thank you. So, I'm grateful as we're grateful to be here, and thank you for joining us. And we're looking at, changing the day that we're going to be doing this.
We're going to be moving it to, I believe, a Tuesday.
We're going to try Tuesdays.
And I'm not sure on the time though.
I think we were talking maybe 12:30, but we're still.
Okay. Well, there is going to be some change
in the afternoon.
Yeah, we'll let you know.
We'll let you know.
That way you can, set yourself a reminder on your phone so you don't miss any of these episodes.
Yes. So remember, just keep nourishing yourself. Nourish yourself with beautiful supplements, beautiful food, real God-given food. Look at the labels. We're teaching people how to, there's a lot to learn about reading a label. So you take it in small steps. You just make baby steps every day. The greatest change comes from small baby steps. So just stick with it. Do it every day. Wrap your heart around it. Keep going. Keep learning. We can really make a big change in this country when we shift more people into health and get them out of this disease stuff that we're all dealing with. Because let's face it, disease is not only a lot of misery for a lot of people, but it's very expensive to pay for disease. So the more that we all become proactive, we do it because we care, we do it because we're willing to take that step. That's what makes beautiful change. It's going to make a lot of beautiful change for all of us. So keep the faith, everybody. Shine your light. Shine your love. And we're so grateful you're with us every week. And to everybody out there, peace.